Muslim friends of the world. Thailand has a Muslim village floating on the sea with an Indonesian feel. The village name is Koh Panyee, pronounced in Thailand, or known as Koh Panyee. This is a fishing village in Phang Nga province, Thailand. The floating island lies in the shadow of a high limestone rock formation in a sheltered bay at sea. Koh Panyee is about half an hour by boat from the Phang Nga pier in Phang Nga Bay. The village is also easy to reach from Phuket and Krabi. According to history, Koh Panyee village was built first by 3 fisherman families of Javanese descent around 200 years ago. Then, they grew until today. The village population is more than 1,680 people and 400 families. The majority of the population also adheres to Islam. The origin of Koh Panyee village began when the 3 families were looking for a location to catch fish. From Java, they followed the Malaysian coastline until they reached Thai waters and found an island in Phang Nga province. They then climbed to a hill to raise a flag to signal other fishermen to join them. Since then, many people have come and joined in until they finally built a floating village on the water. Koh Panyee, Javanese Muslim village in Thailand. As time went by, and many tourists came to Koh Panyee to make it a tourist destination, the Koh Panyee residents of Javanese descent obtained ownership rights to the land even though they were foreigners. Slowly but surely, Koh Panyee now has facilities like a normal village. Koh Panyee also has a school, hospital, cemetery, market, museum, and a simple hotel for tourists. The center of the village is a concrete structure that connects dozens of souvenir shops and houses. Each small shop along the pathway sells shell trinkets and batik t-shirts. One of the highlights of Koh Panyee village for tourists is the 3 floating football fields. The pitches are made of wood and were built after the 1986 World Cup. Their source of income is fishing. But, along with the many tourists who come, they also thought of utilizing the tourists as their source of income. Thailand is one of the countries in Southeast Asia where the majority of the population is Buddhist. Muslims in the land of white elephants are only around 15%, and most of them are spread in the southern provinces of the country, specifically in Patani, Yalat, Narathiwat, Songkhlastan. Islam arrived in Thailand around the 10th or 11th century, brought by Arab and Indian traders. There are also those who say that Islam entered Thailand through the Samudra Pasai kingdom in Aceh. There is also another opinion which states that Islam entered Thailand even before the Thai kingdom was founded, namely in the 9th century. This can be seen from historical facts, such as ancient paintings depicting Arab Muslims in Ayutthaya, an area in Thailand, and also the success of the Arabs in establishing the Patani Islamic Dawla, which is proof that Islam existed before the Thai kingdom was founded and came to power. According to Asep Ahmad Hidayat in his book Social History of Malay Ethnic Minority Muslims in the Archipelago, Patani Thailand, Singapore, Moro Filipino, and Timor-Leste, the southernmost region of Thailand was originally a sovereign Malay Islamic kingdom, namely the Patani Malaya Sultanate, which is estimated to include 5 regions: Patani, Yalat, Narathiwat, Songkhla, and the northernmost parts of modern Malaysia, Kelantan, Kedah, and Perlis in Terengganu. According to the Hikayatnya Patani text, the Patani Sultanate was ruled by 3 dynasties, namely the Sri Wangsa, the first Kelantan dynasty, and the second Kelantan dynasty. The Patani people themselves call the Patani Sultanate the Patani Darussalam Sultanate or Patani Raya. In its golden age, the Patani Sultanate emerged as the greatest Malay Islamic empire on the Malay Peninsula. Patani Raya at that time was a famous and prosperous port city, ruled by kings who are described in history as having regional seat power. Since the arrival of Islam in the archipelago, the land of Patani has been visited by nations. In the 14th century AD, the city of Panyee Harbor had developed into the Kingdom of Panyee. The Panyee Sultanate reached the peak of its glory when it was ruled by sultanesses, female kings, namely Raja Hijau, 1584 to 1616 AD, Raja Biru, 1616 to 1624 AD, Raja Ungu, 1624 to 1635 AD, and Raja Kuning, 1635 to 1688 AD. During the reign of these female kings, the Panyee Kingdom reached prosperity as a result of trade relations with European and East Asian nations, the Netherlands, Portugal, England, China, and Japan. At that time, Panyee land was not only visited by Malay traders, but also traders from various nations, European, Arab, Persian, Jewish, Turkish, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Indonesian nations, and others. This reality shows that the Panyee Malay Sultanate has demonstrated a fairly advanced economic level. With this capital, the Malay Sultanate of Panyee built a Malay Islamic culture that was distinctive and advanced at that time. He not only plays an active role in politics and trade throughout the region but has succeeded in establishing an area that has become the center of the development of Islam in Malay lands. Throughout the 16th century, the names of scholars and spreaders of Islam emerged, such as Sheikh Saifuddin al-Abbasi, Sheikh Muhammad Said Barzisa, and Sheikh Gambak Abdul Mubin, who spread Islam in the land of Panyee at that time. Then other preachers appeared, such as Sheikh Faqih Ali al-Malbari, Sheikh Ali Faqih al-Fatani, Sheikh Abdul Jalil al-Fatani, and others. Towards the beginning of the 18th century AD until throughout the 19th century, Panyee continued to act as a center of Islamic culture or civilization and even as a center for Malay literary activities with Islamic elements. Throughout this century, Panyee has produced great scholars who are not only famous in Malay but also in Arabia, Turkey, and North Africa. At that time, Panyee received the nickname Mirror of Mecca, which was visited by many Muslim students from Sri Lanka, Burma, Myanmar, Cambodia, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malay countries, and throughout the archipelagos such as Sumatra, especially Aceh, Sulawesi, Kalimantan, Java, and Brunei. In developing their preaching, the ulama used the Pondok educational institution as a base for their activities. Among the oldest and quite well-known lodges actively carrying out Dawah in Panyee are Pondok Dala, Burman, Semula, Dul, Kota, Jarasik, and Telok Manak. These cottages have been visited not only by domestic students but also from abroad. Towards the middle of the 19th century AD, the territory of the Panyee Sultanate had become a victim of conquest by the Kingdom of Siam, Muang Thai/Thailand.